Tax reassessments are out, new animal control officers are in, and the nation of Iran is found liable by a federal court judge in a civil case involving the family of a Hilton Head Island man who was a victim of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Your news is next, Hilton Head, so stay right there. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. I'm Kevin Libby. A federal court judge has found that the nation of Iran is liable for the wrongful death of Don Havlish Jr. and 46 other 9/11 victims represented in a class action lawsuit. It was the case of Havlish et al. Versus bin Laden et al. That was the first to result in a finding that the Islamist Republic of Iran was complicit in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Trial lawyer Dennis Pansadis of Alabama said Iran concealed the travel history of the hijackers and that their passports had been, quote, washed. That case resulted in an award of $7 billion to the families of the victims. Now those victims are seeking to seize Iranian assets around the world, including a skyscraper on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Beaufort County has 3 new animal control officers in the field. The new, quote, code enforcement officers respond to complaints about nuisance animals, trapping those which pose a risk to public safety. Quote, deputies don't need to be trapping feral cats. That's what Beaufort County Sheriff P.J. Tanner said last spring, announcing that his 6 deputies at the time handling animal control duties would be reassigned as resource officers at the elementary schools. Tulla Trice, director of the county animal control shelter, is excited by the opportunity to promote 3 of her animal technicians to the newly created animal control positions. She says, quote, it's much easier. Now we can get out and solve problems before they come to us. Animal Control received more than 2,500 calls just in August, responding to 152 of them. Before the new Animal Control officers were installed, all calls to Animal Control were routed through the police non-emergency dispatch. The shelter wouldn't be alerted when a deputy responded to a call, and sometimes they would receive more animals than the shelter could handle. Sheriff P.J. Tanner has said he would like to equip his former Animal Control deputies with therapy dogs to help the officers connect with children here in the schools. County tax reassessments went out last week for tax year 2013. Property owners are seeking to appeal. They have 90 days. So from September 11th to December 11th, those 90 days are the ones you have to appeal your tax assessment. A backlog of hundreds of appeals plagued the assessor's office this past year, but new rules for quorum and doubling the size of the assessment board has increased expectations for performance from the county assessor's office this year. Quote, an important role of the Beaufort County Assessor's Office is to establish fair market value for all real property in Beaufort. That helps us ensure that the property tax burden is shared fairly and equally. That's according to Beaufort County Assessor Ed Hughes. This year's Italian Heritage Festival is around the corner. It'll be Shelter Cove Park that'll play host to the annual event September 21st. This festival is the annual centerpiece for the Italian American Club of Hilton Head, abbreviated IACHH, and has grown exponentially in 4 short years, with all the proceeds going to area charities and scholarship funds. The festival includes art booths, bocce ball, stickball, a dunk tank, grape stomping, and wine tastings, as well as food prep demonstrations and, of course, menu offerings from local Italian restaurants. Hilton Head Plantation will be the home to a new cell phone tower. This according to a meeting they had of the Hilton Head Town Islands Design Review Board. Final approval is expected at the board's October 8th meeting. This according to town land management official Terry Lewis. 57 residents have signed a petition opposing the tower that would primarily serve Verizon customers, but be available for lease by other carriers. Quote, I bought my property because I like the open space, and this is the equivalent of a 14-story commercial building being erected 200 feet from my house, said nearby homeowner Brad Wainwright. The current plan calls for the tower to be erected between White-Tailed Deer Lane and Dolphin Head Drive on land provided Crown Castle International. That was in an easement agreement. The design is reported to resemble a very tall pine tree. Beaufort Water Search and Rescue Squad were on alert this weekend. A lost boater, a truck driver from Barnwell, radioed for help at around 11:35 p.m. Saturday. The call came into a radio band usually used by truckers. It was the bridge operator at Woods Memorial Bridge that heard the call and notified emergency dispatch. The man was found on McKay Creek near the bridge to Hilton Head Island. Rescuers helped refuel the man's boat and guided him back to the Chichesee River landing, wrapping up around 1 a.m. And taking a look around the state, South Carolina is spending an additional $1 billion on its roads over the next decade, seeking to repair or replace some of the Palmetto State's worst bridges. An Associated Press review found 38 bridges both fracture critical and structurally deficient in the Palmetto State. Department of Transportation spokesman Pete Poore said that the DOT has finished replacing one of the bridges with 2 more projects in progress. 4 more bridges to be replaced are in the design or early engineering phase of redevelopment. Officials with the State Public Employee Benefit Authority have admitted that a programming error caused the wrong information to be sent to recipients of health benefits through the state. About 75 people saw their names, addresses, and health plan information be accidentally sent to incorrect recipients. Letters have gone out to the 150 individuals affected. For more information on these and other stories, please reference the media sources on your screen. And if you want to be a pal, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. When we come back, Charlie Clark will give us an edge with her business report, and BJ Frazier has his mitts on the hot off the press report. We'll be right back.
I'm here at the top of the Harbortown Lighthouse with Nadia Wagner. She's the lighthouse keeper. Nadia, this is a Hilton Head icon, but many people don't realize it's so much more.
It is, Debbie. The view is so thrilling. Many people don't realize you can climb to the top. We've had many marriage proposals, even weddings. You can shop at the top for gifts you won't find anywhere else and wave to friends and family on our live webcam. It's the high point of the Lowcountry.
You do not want to miss this view. What's the admission cost, Nadia?
It's only $375 per person, and kids 5 and under are free.
Make this a must-see while you're here on Hilton Head. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you. See you soon.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Joining us now is BJ Frazier, publisher of the Hilton Head Sun. Welcome back, BJ. BJ, what's going on with vaccinations at county schools?
Well, there's a concern that there may be developing an epidemic of whooping cough throughout the country in various areas. And so, of course, Beaufort County has taken a close look at it, and they've discovered that 350 school children throughout the county have not been vaccinated yet for whooping cough and tetanus and so forth. And so what they've done is extended the deadline from the beginning of school to September 20th for these 350 children to get this Tdap booster, which will prevent the disease. So it's extremely important that the kids get this. Parents, take note.
For sure, BJ. And also, we've been following the progress on that survey they're going to be doing for the supporting the arts. What's going on there?
Well, as we know, a consulting group has been hired for $85,000 by the town of Hilton Head to explore the possibilities and the level of importance to support the Arts Center and other cultural groups throughout the town. And what they're going to do is, beginning in October, they're going to do an online survey of the residents, because this is kind of a hot button. Some residents feel that we shouldn't be supporting the arts, and others, of course, do. And also the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber is going to be doing a survey with the tourists to see how important it is for the arts when they come here. Of course, you know, the Arts Center and the other groups are a big draw, so we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, whatever keeps people coming back.
Right.
BJ, I understand that the Heritage Classic Foundation is getting ready to understand and basically make their annual donation this year. How is that looking?
Well, it's very good. They announced that they donated $2.1 million to various charities throughout the region, and but what that number really consists of is about $450,000 of it were donor specified that ran through the Heritage Classic Foundation. So in reality, the foundation gave out $1.6 million, which is up about $100,000 over last year, but it's a little bit less than what they did report. Still a great amount. And of course, as we know, the Heritage Classic Foundation puts on the RBC Heritage Golf Tournament every spring, which is, of course, presented by Boeing.
Wonderful. It's good to know. BJ, hey, we appreciate you being here.
Nice to see you, Kevin.
Talk to you again soon. Joining me now with the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce is the intrepid Charlie Clark. Welcome, Charlie.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Oh, so happy to have you with us. So I understand there's some big news for those of us who like to travel. What's going on?
Really big news. JetBlue has just announced that they will now be flying to our Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. This is great news for travelers. They're going to be starting daily flights in February out of JFK in New York. And with over 11 million travelers flying through their T5 terminal, that's great news for travel and a great way to get folks here more conveniently and at a lower cost.
I think so many people are familiar with JetBlue because of their national campaigns, but what made them choose the Lowcountry as their latest place to feature service?
You know, air service development is an ongoing process, and it's an ongoing partnership. This is something the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce has been working in tandem with the Savannah Hilton Head Airport, as well as Savannah officials with the Savannah Visitor and Convention Bureau, Chamber, and their economic development folks. It takes quite a while to make these things happen, and it's all about numbers. You know, they want to know, is this going to be a profitable route for them? They've recently come into Charleston, as you're aware of, as well, and their success bodes well for our success. So it takes a while. It's an ongoing process. It's been something we've been working on for quite a long time, and we're very happy that they made the announcement this week.
It's definitely exciting. Charlie, we always talk about tourism when you're in, because it's such an important part of the Hilton Head economy. How is this going to affect pricing? We know a lot of people come from out of state, a lot of people travel. Is this going to reduce the general cost of what it is to have a Hilton Head vacation?
You know, JetBlue coming to this destination's airport is a win-win, not just for travelers, but for residents as well. It's a quality of life issue. We now have another choice when it comes to traveling, and anytime you can increase convenience and rates when it comes to traveling, that's always a good thing. What happens, as you know, when an airline comes into a market like this, it breeds competition. So whether you fly JetBlue or not, or that's your top marketplace, it's going to be great news for anyone flying Delta, U.S. Airways, American, the other number of airlines that are servicing the Savannah Hilton Head Island Airport. Competition breeds lower fares, and that's good news for travelers.
Oh, for certain. I heard you say that we're going to have a chance to go to New York, maybe a little bit less expensively. Are there any more, what do they call those things, channels where the...
Other routes that they'll be adding? We
you.
certainly hope so. That's what's happened in the past. Once success is found in one route, then JetBlue tends to announce others. So we'll be waiting to hear what's next on the JetBlue front. We're just really, really thrilled to have them flying in from one of our top markets, which is New York City.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Charlie, we're running short on time, but what's one place you want to go to?
One place I want to go, you know, I happen to want to go everywhere. That's the problem. Traveling is great. You know, traveling is fun. Lots of people want to do it, and I do as well. So New York City is definitely one of my favorites, and I'll be trying the JetBlue route very shortly, hopefully.
Hey, if you get there, let me know. I want to hear about it. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
When we come back, we'll be joined by Amber Kuehn. She's going to teach us a little bit more about sea turtles. And Steve Riley, our town manager, will teach us a little bit more about how our money gets spent. Stay with us, Hilton Head. We'll be right back.
Hilton Head Lakes, with the area's most affordable dues and a world-class community, features thoughtfully designed homes with home sites starting from the 180s. 90% financing on waterfront, nature preserve, and golf home sites starting from the 40s. Visit their model park with 5 fully furnished homes, plus see their spectacular lake club, which is nearing completion. Boating, golf, amenities center, and the best proximity to all Lowcountry destinations. Stop by Hilton Head Lakes today.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Joining me now is Amber Kuehn with the Hilton Head Island Sea Turtle Project. Welcome, Amber. 2013, the nesting season is upon us, am I correct?
It is. We have less than 70 nests left on the beach. We have had a record year. We've had 338 nests on Hilton Head this season. That's beating the 2011 record of 324. It's a great year.
That's fantastic. How have you been promoting conservation of this wonderful endangered species, these sea turtles?
What we do to conserve the endangered species, the loggerhead sea turtle, is that we relocate nests on a daily basis above the spring high tide line, just to make sure that water doesn't inundate the nest. It's important to do it every day. So we're busy with that this year, particularly because of the nesting density. So we just got a little bit longer to go. Through the middle of October, we should be done with the hatching season.
Amber, what are your major challenges to nest success?
We have a couple of challenges this year. We have been having a predator on the nest. It'd be a wild animal that happens in the middle of the night. We haven't had that issue very much in the past, but we are using screening from the DNR to fix that problem. And we also have a couple of lighting issues, but the town of Hilton Head is on it with their code enforcement officer. Just remember, if you're beachfront, that your lights need to be off May through October, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and that keeps the hatchlings from approaching your front porch or your back porch.
What animals are predators out there?
Oh gosh, we're not sure exactly what it is. It could be a wild dog, or it could be a bobcat. Either way, we have the screens down so they can't dig into the nests anymore. We've lost about 10 nests that way.
And just so I know, who manages and permits all the activity that you do?
We work for the Coastal Discovery Museum. There's a team of 8. The town of Hilton Head is very generous to support the program financially for supplies and vehicle and payroll. The Department of Natural Resources definitely gives us our permitting and our parameters. So we definitely have a lot of people to thank to keep this project going.
So we're also excited to participate with you. What can local community members do to be a part of your project?
One thing you can do, and things you never think of, if you're at the beach and you dig one of these holes, make sure you fill it in, because when hatchlings walk down the beach, they might fall into that hole and they can get out. So filling in your holes is something that you wouldn't think of. Trash on the beach, anything that's plastic that gets into the water can be ingested by sea turtles. That's a bad scenario, of course. And the lighting issue. If you could just keep your lights off, that's interior, shades drawn, we'll have a great season.
And you're not kidding either. There's a town ordinance you have to turn those lights off. What's the curfew?
Oh, it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and there is a fine involved if you're a repeat offender.
Well, Amber, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And joining us now is Steve Riley, Town Manager for the town of Hilton Head. Thanks so much for being here, Steve.
Kevin, great to join you for the first time.
Oh, so believe me, very happy to have you. I am very naive. I was hoping very quickly you could let me know what a council manager style of town government means here on the island.
Sure, I'll try to do that quickly. It's kind of the separation of government theory that you see at the federal level, where the president doesn't get to vote, he gets to make recommendations, the Congress votes, they set policy, and then you got an administrative section that actually implements. Only I'm not elected, I'm not the president, but it's that same separation idea that town council is the policy setters, they make the laws, they set the budget, they provide direction, and the day-to-day administration falls to me, and all the employees are hired under me. I do the hiring and firing, council does the policy setting.
So you're the administrator. It's like being a CEO.
Yep.
Awesome. So I understand that your recommendations to the council in terms of the budget are some of the biggest impacts in terms of what's going to be funded and what's not. What did you recommend be changed about our budget in the previous year, and have you seen some of your recommendations implemented?
Well, we're just kind of into the budget year, so it started July 1st, so hard to say that anything substantial has happened. Some of the big things that we recommended this year are on the CIP-related things.
CIP,
I'm sorry, Capital Improvements Program, the construction budget, the pathways, the roads. That's always a big part of what we do here, maintaining and improving our drainage, pathways, all that kind of stuff. One of the things that we did this year is we're getting ready for our next beach renourishment project. That's a big ticket item every 7 to 8 years. We're actually suggesting that a lot of the sand has stayed in place and that we can start to scale back the size and the length of those projects. And that is just starting to move through the approval process with Town Council right now. Other things that we've done is we did a little shifting of budget. We're paying off some old debt, and we're shifting some of that over to operations. The biggest part of our budget is public safety, police and fire, and we continue to try to keep. We've cut back other areas, but we've tried to keep that strong and going.
Very quickly, what is our municipal debt?
Municipal debt is right now, we're paying about, I think it's close to $15 million a year in debt payments. The exact dollar value of our debt, I guess I don't have it at the tip of my fingers. I'm happy to get that for you.
Yeah, we'll get it next time. But basically, we're very short on time, but just for a very general understanding of the budget, what are our biggest line items, and what do you think is the most important of them?
The biggest line item is public safety, as I said a minute ago. The next big thing and our big challenge for the future is operating and maintaining what we have, keeping the roads looking nice, keeping the meetings looking nice, maintaining our parks, maintaining our buildings. As we build things, building things is almost easier than operating and maintaining them, and that is our great challenge, is what can we afford to build and maintain, because if you can't maintain it, why even bother building it?
Absolutely. Steve, we're so fortunate to have you with us. Come back and see us again. We'll talk more.
Look forward to it.
Thank you, Steve. And stay right there. When we come back, Nancy Watts will fill us in on where to go with tips for the best happy hour on the island. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Brown Golf, where playing here has its rewards. Purchase a 20-round package of golf prior to May 1st, 2013, and receive a full day with yours truly. That's 18 holes of golf, 2-hour mini school, and lunch. To purchase that package, go to browngolfmanagement.com. That's browngolfmanagement.com. Now, let's go humble the golf course.
Welcome back to the Hilton Head News. Joining us now is our great friend Nancy Watts from Where to Go magazine. How's it going, Nancy?
Hey there, man. It's good to be back.
Oh, so happy to have you. So tell me, you always know the best place to go on a weekend. What's the it spot this weekend? Where do I need to be?
Well, you know, every weekend, or every Saturday particularly, in September as well as in October, Salty Dog is having one of their wonderful things. They had a birthday bash last week. They have fish fry this coming weekend, then they'll have a barbecue the coming weekend, and then in October there's shrimp and there's crabs and there's all kinds of good things. Check out your magazine, Where to Go, and they will tell you where to go and what time to be there, and just pig out and have a good time.
I heard a rumor Salty Dog is doing all you can eat. Is that somehow possible?
Well, it is all you can eat. And if you know, I've been down there and they've had, not only do they have like their fish fry or their shrimp, you can also get a hot dog, you can get a hamburger. The hamburger's really good. I've done that and it's yum.
Nancy, when I get recreation time, I usually waste it on food, but if I have a chance to be a little bit more athletic with myself, what can I do around the islands to get some exercise?
How lazy can we be? It's not really a lazy thing, but because we don't have mountains and most everything is fairly flat, we can go bike riding. I know bike riding is a very fun sport, and if you don't have one of your own, rent one from one of the many bike rentals here on the island, or if you do, just get on that baby and ride. Every plantation has miles and miles of bike paths, and if you get tired of riding the bike paths, there's always the beach.
Have you ever heard a number in terms of how many miles of bike paths we have? I see them everywhere.
I know, and I thought it was 55, 57, and then I read somewhere else, maybe this weekend, that it was something closer to 80 miles. 80 miles of bike paths. That's a lot of bike paths.
Sure is. I wouldn't doubt it. They're building those things all the time.
It's okay.
Nancy, in addition to eating a whole lot, I like to drink. Where can I go to get the cheapest drinks? What's my best happy hour on the island?
You know what? I'd have to look in Where to Go under the happy hour column. Well, I could do that.
What a wonderful magazine.
Well, yes, we try. But in the meantime, there's all kinds of good places, depending on if you want to go and have a drink before dinner, or if you want to just go and drink and have hors d'oeuvres or special appetizers. They have great appetizers. I know Kingfish has a really good one. So does Charlie's has a good one. Over at Charlie's, we call it Charlie's No Cheeseburgers. Main Street Cafe has a different special every night. The Smokehouse has great happy hours and good ice cold beer if you're into an ice cold beer, but they also have good drinks too, and all the football you can handle.
Hey, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, man.
Nancy, it's always an absolute treat to have you on.
It's always good to be here, and let's go play.
I'll be there, Nancy. Thank you, and to our viewers, thank you for watching this edition of the Hilton Head News. Remember, if you see news happening, be sure to contact the WHHI-TV Action News team. From Sea Pines to Beaufort, we've got you covered like a good blanket. Big news-oriented blanket. I'm Kevin Libby. We'll see you next time.